They don't have any faith in Gavin Newsom.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of funny because he wants to be president so bad.
That's true what it looks like.
You can't ruin a city and then go on to ruin a state and say, guys, that was just practice.
I know.
Once I get it as a president, I'm going to fix it.
Well, you can't, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Looks like Joe Rogan and Tyrus have finally had enough of Gavin Newsom polished hair and rehearsed charisma. The gloves are off, and they're spilling everything, no filters, no favors. The revelations are so explosive they might make California wildfires look tame by comparison. What did they expose? Why does half of Hollywood suddenly look uneasy while the other half pretends nothing happening? Buckle up, this one about to get loud, funny, and uncomfortably real.
You have the highest unemployment.
Yeah.
You have the highest homelessness.
Look what they did with Hollywood.
Money's missing. You killed Hollywood.
I know.
Hollywood doesn't exist anymore. It's literally gone.
That was such
you
an easy one.
mandated vacaines for kids that didn't need them. You guys.
What I saw, what it looked to me like he was negotiating with a deaf prostitute.
If you're loving this beautiful chaos, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. It helps more than you think. Who would have predicted that Joe Rogan and Tyrus teaming up to roast Gavin Newsom would be the plot twist of 2025? Yet here we are, watching California's most camera-ready politician get scorched harder than an LA freeway in August. You could practically hear the collective gasp from every avocado toast enthusiast between Malibu and San Francisco when those two dropped their truth bomb. Because let's be honest, when Rogan and Tyrus start talking, somewhere out there a PR team is gripping a stress ball like it's their last lifeline.
I mean, it's so crazy, but he's such a great politician. I mean,
No,
he's
he's
so
not.
smooth.
He's
You
not,
don't think
though.
so?
No, I think he's terrible.
How's he remained in power for so long?
Low competition. There's no one who's good is competing against him. There's no sincerity.
I should say he's not a good. I should say he's smooth.
He's a good bullshit artist.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But it's like what the things that he says when he gets confronted with we're the highest this and the highest that. Like everybody's.
It all started off innocent enough, just a laid-back chat, a few laughs, nothing too deep. Then boom, Newsom name dropped into the mix like a vegan burger at a Texas barbecue. Instantly, the chill vibe evaporated. Because when Joe Rogan starts connecting dots, nobody off limits. And Tyrus, he doesn't just connect the dots, he flips the entire board and dares anyone to say he wrong.
Watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink. Look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending. I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
Ew.
And then, look, he's blinking. And then eventually, the camera guy realizing that he's signaling him, so he gets appalled, leans back, camera comes down, and then we're back to this. I'll do this for you. You do this for me a little. So he's saying whatever he's going to say. There it is. See? They couldn't hold him back. He's like, I'm not on film. Oh, I'm not. Nope. Bring my hands up. Bring him up. Bring him up. Bring him up. Bring him up.
He practically hurls the whole whiteboard across the room and dares anyone to prove him wrong. Gavin Newsom has been California golden boy for so long you'd think he was plucked straight from a Napa Valley vineyard right next to the Pinot Noir. Perfect teeth, hair smoother than a shampoo ad, and speeches so polished they could pass for TED Talks on the art of public charm.
Newsom told the Los Angeles Times Panera would not be exempt from the law. The spokesperson also did not acclaim the Bloomberg piece, which cited sources close to the matter that Newsom pushed for an exemption that applies to businesses that bake bread and sell it as a standalone item, calling the report absurd. So is it a fake story?
Or is it something that they
might have corrected
course quickly? Yeah.
Yeah. Roll up to the top. So where's the initial report? Let's find the initial report.
Somewhere along the way, the California dream Newsom sold started to look less like a promise and more like a dystopian Netflix series where rent costs a kidney and every street corner feels like a social experiment gone wrong. So when Rogan and Tyrus decided to pull back the curtain, it wasn't just entertainment, it was a demolition derby of egos and hypocrisy. Rogan came out swinging with his trademark mix of logic and what if, while Tyrus leaned back, arms crossed, serving that signature look as he turned Newsom politics into a full-blown comedy special. Picture it, two guys laughing, questioning leadership, and realizing that maybe Newsom's picture-perfect image is just a bit too perfect. Yet there he is, grinning like a toothpaste model, insisting everything fine. It almost impressive, like watching someone rearrange deck chairs on the Titanic while bragging about inventing buoyancy. And naturally, Tyrus being Tyrus, didn't hold back for a second.
I can watch the tape.
Yes.
He literally goes, I want some of this, then you do some of this, and I'll do some of that back to you, and then we'll do this, and then I'll pay you, and then we'll do it again.
True.
And then she kept saying, no. Okay, how about this? You do this one first, then we do this one, then we give a little back and forth.
Tyrus pointed out that California's biggest export isn't film or tech anymore at people. Residents are bailing faster than contestants on a doomed reality show where the grand prize is surviving the electric bill. The irony is almost poetic. Every time someone leaves, Newsom calls it progress. Sure, if progress means fueling Texas' population boom by the minute. Rogan, ever the philosopher wrapped in a punchline, couldn't resist digging deeper. He started asking those deceptively casual questions that sound harmless until you realize there's no good answer. Like, how can a state wealthier than most countries still have roads that look like they were paved by a toddler with a hammer, or why do green initiatives somehow end with the sky filled with wildfire smoke from there? Things escalated fast. What started as a roast turned into a revelation. Because while the media swoons over Newsom rumored presidential ambitions, Rogan and Tyrus dropped the one question everyone too afraid to ask. Does anyone outside California actually want its problems going national? The truth they uncovered wasn't about secret scandals, it was about how polished perception keeps the illusion alive.
Why would Bloomberg spread bullshit? Bloomberg is a financial paper, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's not something...
I don't think it would be,
You really can't do that if you're running a financial paper. It's not like the New York Times. The New York Times can say Israel bombed the hospital and 500 people are killed and put it on the front page, even if it's not true. And everybody just assumes it's true because it's the New York Times. But they can kind of get away with that. And then they still...
The idea is simple but stunning. Gavin Newsom has built an image so bulletproof that no matter what burning behind him, he just smiles, rolls up his sleeves, and blames climate change. It's the political equivalent of it not you, it me, only with higher taxes and zero accountability. Still, you can't deny the man charisma. He could probably convince a crowd that paying $12 for a green smoothie is a patriotic duty. Rogan joked, or maybe half meant, that Newsom real talent lies in making chaos look like progress. Who else could turn mass homelessness, rolling blackouts, and gas prices rivaling a SpaceX launch into a vision for the future? Tyrus, ever the cynic, called it what it is, political theater at its finest. California isn't just a state anymore, it's a stage. And every time someone challenges him, Newsom just flashes that confident smirk that seems to say, "You'll still vote for me." And honestly, many do. That hypnotic Hollywood glow makes people forget how rough things really are. It's like being stuck in endless traffic while the driver insists it's a journey of innovation. Rogan and Tyrus turned the entire exchange into a masterclass on political branding, how to look flawless while everything quietly falls apart beneath you.
California, like budget cuts and stuff, since they didn't have a hearing impaired transitioner anymore, I'm not paying money for that, I'll do it myself. So, you know. A little bit of bubble. Yeah. Could you imagine if you were the signed person for the TV going...
No, he reminds me there of, remember the guy who did the sign language at Mandela's?
Smile through the smoke. That might as well be Gavin Newsom's life motto. He perfected the art of turning every crisis into a camera-ready soundbite. If blame shifting were an Olympic sport, he'd have more gold than Michael Phelps. Then came the moment that sent the internet into a frenzy. Tyrus pointed out how Newsom's rise has been almost too spotless for someone running a state that often looks one disaster away from a movie trailer. Fires, floods, blackouts, billion-dollar blunders, and somehow, he walks away untouched. It's like he's wrapped in political plot armor, scripted by Hollywood itself. Rogan couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity. How does anyone stay that clean amid so much chaos like watching a guy in all white at a barbecue who somehow leaves without a single stain? Either he ridiculously lucky or someone out there editing reality in real time. From there, the conversation spiraled into talk of media bias, Hollywood hero worship, and the bizarre cult of personality orbiting around Newsom. The man doesn't even need a campaign team anymore. Vanity Fair practically runs his PR for free. At some soft lighting, a drone shot over the Pacific, and boom, half the country swooning before remembering gas still costs $7 a gallon. Rogan, ever the skeptic, couldn't ignore the pattern. Newsom's sudden national visibility feels less like coincidence, and more like an audition for something much bigger.
Some of the success that they're hanging their hat on is his social media campaign where he talks like Trump.
It's no longer the rule of law. It's increasingly the rule of done.
So he's got a bunch of people from his organization that tweet for him, and they tweet like Trump, and they're saying this has elevated him in the public's eye. That's terrifying.
You've seen it across the board. People are scared to death of this guy.
He's starting to learn the internet sensibility.
It's the appalling silence. It's the complicity. You're seeing the most successful, wealthiest people scared to death of this guy.
Which is heavily trolling, does very well. What he has is a terrible...
Maybe he is auditioning. Maybe California was just a dress rehearsal. But as Rogan and Tyrus kept hinting, if this is only the preview, America might want to check the reviews before buying tickets. Because if their conversation proved anything, it's that the Gavin Newsom brand runs on perception, not performance. It's not about results, it's about the vibe. And right now, that vibe is chaos with really great hair. They didn't even have to spell it out. It was obvious. The man could declare a state of emergency over bad lighting and someone would still call it progressive. Meanwhile, everyday Californians are too busy guessing which disaster hits next: earthquake, wildfire, or tax hike. By the midpoint of the conversation, Rogan had gone full philosopher, wondering if America's obsession with image has completely replaced its concern for competence. Because Newsom, love him or not, is the ultimate Instagram politician, polished, filtered, and flawless at first glance. Just don't zoom in too close. That when Tyrus jumped in, pointing out that Newsom's real talent is convincing people he fixing problems just by acknowledging them. It was part roast, part revelation, and deeply uncomfortable for anyone still defending California's so-called success story. Yet somehow, it was impossible not to laugh. Because in a world where everyone pretending things are fine, sarcasm might just be the last honest language left.
Gestures match the words coming out of his mouth.
Right. Yes,
if the president was like, we want peace in the Middle East, you know what I'm saying? He would be like,
right,
and like,
That's it. That it is. It's the contrast.
yeah, like Gavin, his hands are aggressive. You know, we've had a lot of theories. One, it was a bad negotiation with a deaf hooker. You know, now he doesn't want to pay for him. You know,
Do you have a problem with deaf hookers?
he does, because the deal went south.
It's called the Helen Kellen special.
Rogan and Tyrus never set out to destroy Gavin Newsom, they just accidentally exposed how fragile his illusion really is when it poked with a bit of common sense. By the end, they'd stripped away every glossy layer of the Newsom persona until all that remained was irony. The man selling perfection is running a state that looks like the aftermath of a TikTok challenge gone catastrophically wrong. And somehow, he's still smiling through it all, as if the chaos itself was part of the plan. The real takeaway: Rogan and Tyrus didn't just call out Gavin Newsom, they called out the entire performance of modern politics. The filters, the slogans, the media love affair, all of it. They showed that behind every flawless image lies a story too messy to fit inside the frame. Maybe America's next big thing really is more style than substance. Still, you can't deny it wildly entertaining. Because as long as voices like Rogan and Tyrus keep asking the uncomfortable questions, that shiny facade will keep cracking. And when it does, it's always hilarious to see who rushes to fix it, and who just throws on another filter. Just when everyone thought Rogan and Tyrus were finished, they took it one step further, diving straight into the Hollywood bubble that been quietly inflating Newsom image for years.
Talks about California. It's like, you know, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. California has all this industry. Hey, fucko, they're all thinking about moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. If it was like every business could instantly pull up roots and replace everything and have everything running in a week at the other place, they'd all.
You know, that strange bubble where celebrities preach about saving the planet right before boarding their private jets to climate summits. Rogan couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity, while Tyrus rolled his eyes so hard it could have qualified as an Olympic sport. Apparently, California's biggest problem isn't just homelessness or inflation and delusion. Dressed up in designer suits, they started comparing Newsom's speeches to award show monologues, long, dramatic, and packed with impressive-sounding words that mean absolutely nothing. Every promise feels like a trailer for a movie that never gets released. Coming soon, prosperity, equality, and a functional power grid. Spoiler alert, it's still in production. Rogan pointed out how California's so-called progressive paradise keeps rolling out policies so extreme that even progressives are quietly packing up and leaving. It's the ultimate illusion, convincing people to celebrate being taxed into exhaustion. Meanwhile, the roads resemble lunar craters, and a grocery run feels like a luxury vacation. Tyrus joked that living in California is like dating someone who keeps promising to change. They mean well, but somehow your wallet always disappears by the end. And just when the laughter hit its peak, they dropped the punchline that pulled everything together.
You can fix California while you stop by. 2 shows, you should be able to do that.
Hey, you know what? Real funny. So the other night, I got like 3 weeks ago, time flies when you work. I get a text at 2 o'clock in the morning from the president who says, "Hey, bro, I just filled California up with water. Governor's pissed," and sent pictures, LOL post. Who doesn't love this president?
Rogan said the scariest part isn't Gavin Newsom himself, at that half the country looks at the chaos and still says, "Yeah, we should try that." For a moment, the room went completely silent before everyone realized just how perfectly that line captured modern politics, people falling in love with the packaging while ignoring the expiration date. Tyrus couldn't resist firing off one last jab. Newsom, the kind of guy who'd host a bonfire to stop wildfires and call it innovation. And honestly, he's not wrong. Because when the smoke clears, the truth Rogan and Tyrus uncovered isn't just about one man, it's about the entire performance. The illusion. The image. The endless applause for problems that never actually get solved. That's the real punchline. California might keep burning, but the spotlight never dims, not when there's another headline to spin, another camera angle to perfect, another bold vision speech to deliver. Rogan and Tyrus didn't just roast Newsom. They reminded everyone that politics today isn't governance, it's theater. And in this grand performance, truth isn't exposed. It mocked, replayed, and immortalized with a grin.